Hello, Internet. As you can see, I'm once again laying in bed. It's past 11:30 p.m. at night. Don't know why I said it like that. And it's been a very, very long week in which I've been threatened that I might get fired and also had to deal with a lot of super stressful stuff. And so it's prevented me from working on a lot of projects, including this one. So, yeah, here's another bedside book review where I talk about a book I recently finished while laying in bed and seeing if I can do so without falling asleep. Which, granted, that'll probably be very easy because I made the mistake of drinking caffeine right after jujitsu. So, yeah, here we are. Now, the book I'm talking about today that I recently finished, I wanted to try to finish this before the new year, but life got in the way. The book I'm talking about is The Characters Taught Me Everything by Megumi Hayashibara. Now, if you're an anime fan who grew up in the early 2000s, Megumi Hayashibara is someone who pretty much needs almost no introduction. She was the voice of Rei Ayanami, Lena Inverse, the female Ranma, numerous characters, even some that I hadn't even heard of when I started reading through this book. Now, this is essentially a memoir where Hayashibara basically goes through various roles, starting from her earliest roles as just an ensemble cast member on different shows, and going through each of her major roles and talking about both her experience being cast and doing the roles, as well as what having to internalize these different characters has taught her. And so it's really insightful in that regard, especially if you're someone who is pursuing a creative field, whether you're getting into acting or if you're someone who is hoping to write for film, television, hoping to write scripts that actors would have to read. Gives some pretty good insights into the thought process, but there's also some various good insights just about life in general in this book, especially as she talks about how the actual stories that involve the role she's taken on and how they've changed her opinion and what she's learned from them, and how she had to draw upon her own lived experiences in order to inform some of these characters. One good little tidbit was how, since Megumi Hayashibata is the voice of Jessie, I believe her Japanese name in the anime is Musashi, and she explained how the whole episode of Jessie going to the nursing school for Chanseys in the Pokemon anime was actually based on her real life experience of her going to nursing school before she became a voice actress. And so that was an interesting little tidbit to learn, and especially interesting to get insight into how that came about. Some aspects of this book are a little bit dated since it was written during COVID, so it refers to a lot of the stuff about COVID in present tense. And so that also provides some interesting insight into how voice actors had to adapt during the pandemic in order to continue recording when everyone had to social distance during quarantine. So, yeah, I definitely recommend this book, whether you're an anime fan or if you're someone who's looking to get into acting or looking to get into voice acting. Lots of really good insights, and it also may introduce you to some anime you might not have previously heard of that are worth checking out. I mean, it certainly did for me, looking at some of the older shows that she mentioned here that she voice acted in, and even some of the newer shows in the early 2020s that I figured, okay, that might actually be worth checking out. So, yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. So, it's a pretty good book to read, and yeah, I highly recommend it. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to sleep now, especially now that my cat is crawling up my lap. Hi, kitty. So, as she slowly encroaches upon me, I'm going to try to turn this camera off. And hopefully, I will see you next time for whatever video I decide to upload in a random bit.